Burglars of Reddit, what are the best ways to keep you out of my house? Get an alarm system, and use the stickers/signs saying that you have one. I'm more likely to skip a house with an alarm system. Don't make it easy for me. Lock your doors, close your windows, and most importantly, lock them. 95% of the houses I've been in I just walk through the door or climb through an open window. Don't leave tools laying around that's going to make my job easier. Ladders, saws, drills, sledgehammers, putty knives, etc. All of these make it easier for me to get in your house. Contrary to popular belief, most dogs aren't a problem. Unless they've been trained to be dog guards, it doesn't take much to make one friendly. Don't advertise. If you just bought an expensive piece of electronic equipment, jewelry, tools, etc., don't brag about it in public, don't leave the trash in sight, and don't post about it on Facebook. Use security hedges under your windows. If your house has rose bushes and your neighbors don't, I'm more likely to try their house first. If it's irreplaceable, don't leave it out in the open. Get a safe for stuff like that, and make sure you bolt it down. I'll happily take a safe with me and open it later. Don't live in a nice neighborhood. When I'm looking to steal, I don't go to the poor neighborhoods. I go to the subdivisions and wealthier areas. Don't assume I'm going to wait until it's dark to rob a place. Between 9 a.m. and noon are the best times to hit. Most everyone has gone to work, those who aren't are running errands or sleeping. That being said, invest in motion sensor lights. If someone is outside your house at night, this can help. Finally, be suspicious and alert. Is there someone new walking your neighborhood that doesn't live there? Is someone getting yard care/pest control/deliveries outside of what's normal for them? Does the same car keep cruising around at different times? You see, I'll study a neighborhood before I strike. Sometimes I'll spend upwards of a month. I'll note times people leave and arrive. I'll note when/if cops patrol certain areas, and when. I'll pay attention to delivery times, mailman times, and various other service people to see when they arrive, what they do, how they're dressed, etc. I'll watch to see who leaves windows open, who forgets to lock their doors, and so on. It doesn't take much time to make a hit and get away either. On average I spend 8 minutes in a house. Rarely more than that. I spent a year and a half in prison after being convicted of multiple residential burglaries. I was caught after a mailman called 911 after seeing me go through a window. I had a pretty good run of burglaries from 2007 to 2008 and haven't done any in 7 years, so technology and times have changed since my spree. Here's how I pick my houses. I would generally only go in the daytime during the week. The idea was for the adults to be at work and the kids at school. I would try to find a corner house because it would have, at least, one side with no neighbors. I went in middle-class neighborhoods close to a community college. I live in a large US city and needed an excuse to be in my late 20s walking around with a backpack. I would stand out too much in wealthy neighborhoods, and poorer neighborhoods often have bars on windows because they expect to be robbed. Middle-class people seem to be careless. I often went in through an unlocked back door. Interestingly enough, I never went through a front door. I would always go to the back or side because any fences would provide coverage. People think a large dog would be a good deterrent, but I generally avoided those annoying small yapping dogs that never shut up. I often went through a bedroom window, whether it was unlocked or not. I'm committing a major felony. I didn't care about a broken window. I usually went straight to the master bedroom because that's where the good stuff was. Things a homeowner can do, besides armed guards around the clock. Get a dog that doesn't like strangers. I don't care if it's big or small or threatening or friendly. As soon as one dog barks, the whole neighborhood starts barking and announcing a burglar's presence. Cameras, inside and out. I knew a guy who was caught because he walked by someone's webcam inside their house and ended up on the news. Make the cameras visible. If I see a camera, I'm not just moving on to the next house, but I'm going several streets away. Lock back fence and restrict access to backyard. That's generally where I broke into the house from. Beware of dog and security alarm signs and stickers are completely worthless. I once broke into a house though a doggy door. There was no dog home. Try not to have any stools or anything in the backyard. They make climbing through windows easier. Edit, just got back from work. I have a legit job now. Thank you so much for the Reddit gold. I will try to respond to everybody. It's funny, I was just going to post a life pro tip about this subject. Life pro tip: if you're a burglar, talk to children. They'll tell you everything. Example, the other day we were at the store with my 5-year-old. A random woman smiles at her and says, "Hi. Aren't you pretty, what's your name?" My daughter then proceeds to rattle off her full name, first, middle and last, her mommy and daddy's name, what city she lives in, the fact that her older sister just got a new TV and a Nintendo Wii U, and that she's so excited because we're all going to be taking a trip to visit our family in California next month. All in the space of about 30 seconds. She just had so much crap she was excited to share with her new friend she couldn't stop talking. This used to be a TV show, I forget the name, but they had 2 ex-cons rob someone's house and then give that person tips on how they could be better protected. One time they had a cop volunteer to be robbed and he was shocked how easily the robber stole his stuff. Lock your deadbolts. Can't tell you how easy it is to cart a boot with the deadbolt unlocked. Might as well leave the door open. If you hear me rattling around your house, you should hide in a closet and jump out to scare me. Rather than shoot you, I would run like a baby that can run. I once was visiting a female friend of mine who lived in a bit of a crappy neighborhood. At the time I was working construction and swung by after work. I got to the house and took my size 12 work boots off and left them on the front porch. I tend to carry a pair of flip-flops in my bag and changed into those, then we hit a patio for some sunshine beers. I ended up forgetting my boots at her place and was in no rush to get them back as I had another pair. Now I do not know how true this is, but she swears that having a pair of big work boots right by her front door made her safer. I had pretty much forgotten about them as they were on their way out, but she left them right where they were. She had less craziness happen in her front yard, less strangers knocking on her door, and she was not broken into again at that place. Of course, it could have been the smell. Cover everything in mayonnaise. I mean everything. The bed, the surfaces, the dog, yourself, everything. Burglars hate mayonnaise. To the legitimate burglars in here, I feel like I need to tell you something. My brother and one of my friends, completely independently of each other, have almost a fantasy about shooting a burglar. They both have this romantic visualization of them being the good guy hero and burglars being the perfect example of a bad guy that is coming into their house to kill their family. They daydream and plan for this scenario. My brother even has his alarm siren turned off when he's home so it only rings his phone and won't scare an intruder away. Like he's hunting or something. I just want you to know that these people are out there. If you break into their house, you are getting shot by a guy with a raging hero boner. And I frequently hear the same thing. Shoot to kill, because if you don't, they'll sue you. It's not worth it. Stay out of other people's houses. I hope you guys like this video. If you did, make sure like, comment, share and subscribe the channel our posts.